Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today we're diving into a question many of you have asked. Is Lululemon a good time to buy right now? We're going to cut through the noise, examine the latest data, and pull out the crucial insights to give you a clear perspective. Before we jump in, remember to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave us a comment. And hey, if there's a specific company you'd like us to look into next, please let us know below. We genuinely love hearing from you.
It's an incredibly timely question, definitely. Lululemon, a brand often seen as almost bulletproof, has faced some serious headwinds recently. We've pored over detailed reports dissecting everything from, fundamental health and market sentiment to technical indicators and upcoming catalysts. Our goal here is really just to boil down these sources into exactly what you need to know so you can make sense of Lululemon's current situation and, well, what it might mean for your investment decisions.
All right, let's get into it then. We're talking about Lululemon, a name synonymous with premium athletic wear. But what's the core story here? What kind of company is it fundamentally, and how has it truly been performing before these recent wobbles?
Well, what's immediately striking is Lululemon's consistent position as a global leader in high-end athletic apparel, often priced, a bit above peers like Nike and Under Armour. Financially, for the fiscal year ending January 28, 2025, which the company calls FY 2024, they reported net revenue of $10.13 billion. That's a significant 25% leap from the previous year.
Wow, 25%.
Yeah, and this isn't just growth at any cost, it's profitable growth. Their gross margin stood at an impressive 58.9% with an operating margin of 23.2%. Net income came in at $1.43 billion and diluted earnings per share reached $11.41. These aren't just strong numbers, they signify a business that's scaling aggressively and efficiently.
Those are certainly robust figures.
Yeah.
But in the investing world, past performance doesn't always indicate future results, right?
Yeah.
Are analysts projecting this kind of strong growth to continue, or are there maybe signs of a slowdown?
That's a good point. For FY 2025, the analyst consensus projects revenue around $11.3 billion and EPS of about $12.20. So while growth is definitely expected to continue, it's at a moderating pace compared to that prior 25% jump. It's still growth, but perhaps a more grounded trajectory now.
Okay, so if we look at the bigger picture then, how financially healthy is Lululemon? Is it as resilient as those top-line numbers suggest?
Absolutely, and this is where Lululemon truly shines.
Yeah.
As of January 28, 2025, the company reported, get this, 0 traditional long-term debt. Zero conventional long-term debt. Now, they do have operating lease liabilities, which are essentially, rental agreements for their stores and equipment that's a normal part of doing business, not borrowing. But the absence of that conventional debt signifies an incredibly strong and flexible capital structure. Plus, they generated a hefty $2.08 billion in operating cash flow for FY 2024, with free cash flow around $1.42 billion, and they ended the year with $1.42 billion in cash and equivalents. This demonstrates strong liquidity and financial resilience, giving them a significant buffer.
That financial picture is undeniably robust. But many companies have cash and strong margins. What truly sets Lululemon apart in this incredibly competitive athletic wear market? What's their secret sauce, that allows them to maintain that premium positioning?
Yeah, it boils down to a few key competitive advantages consistently highlighted in our sources. First, their brand power is immense. It's aspirational, commands loyalty. Second, continuous product innovation is crucial. Think SenseKnit technology or their technical yoga wear. They're not just making clothes, they're sort of engineering performance gear. And finally, their significant direct-to-consumer focus. That's a game changer. They've been actively expanding their physical footprint, now operating 7 unlinked 11 company-operated stores globally, up from 655 the prior year. At the same time, e-commerce makes up over 40% of total sales. This robust omni-channel strategy means they control the customer experience and capture higher margins.
So they're strategically growing both their physical presence and online dominance. That's quite the balancing act. How has this impressive multi-channel approach translated into tangible market share gains?
Well, they've consistently gained market share in both women's and men's athletic wear. This seems to be driven by strong same-store sales growth, meaning existing customers are buying more and successful international expansion, bringing new customers into the fold globally. It's a powerful combination, really.
Okay, but hold on a minute. While the fundamentals look solid, the market has certainly had a different reaction lately, hasn't it? What's been happening in the last few months that's cast a shadow over this strong picture?
Indeed. The dominant recent catalysts have been their Q2 2025 earnings release back in August, and more critically, the sharply revised guidance that followed. While Q2 diluted EPS came in at $3.10, actually beating analyst consensus, well, That good news was completely overshadowed.
Overshadowed how?
We saw a revenue miss and a significant downward revision of their full-year revenue and EPS guidance. To put it into perspective, the midpoint of the EPS range was cut by about 11%. That's a substantial haircut, signaling real operational pressure and a deterioration in their immediate outlook.
An 11% cut in EPS guidance is definitely substantial.
Wow. What specifically caused this abrupt shift in their projections?
A key factor was a decline in America's comparable sales, which fell 4% for the quarter. Management is now forecasting a full-year U.S. revenue decline of 1–2%. This points to persistent weakness in their core domestic markets, which really drove that sharp negative market reaction.
The U.S. market, okay.
Yeah, and analysts had already started downwardly revising estimates in August due to sluggish U.S. consumer demand and increasing competition. Essentially, American consumers are pulling back on, discretionary spending.
So a challenging domestic market is a big piece of the puzzle. Were there other warning signs that analysts picked up on, perhaps suggesting the slowdown was brewing?
Absolutely. Analysts noted a deceleration in foot traffic at North American stores, which is a pretty direct indicator of slowing demand. A big red flag also waved back in July. Inventory levels soared to $1.1 billion.
$1 billion in inventory. Yeah, think of it like a closet overflowing with clothes they can't sell at full price. This inevitably leads to expanded promotional activity, which, for a premium brand like Lululemon, can really squeeze those margins, and it raised concerns about excess stock heading into the second half of the year.
And how did the market, specifically the stock price, react to all this news? What do the technical indicators tell us about investor sentiment right now?
Well, as of September 5, 2025, Lululemon closed at $167.80. The stock dropped approximately 19% in the past month alone.
Oof, 19%.
Yeah, suggesting increased volatility and, frankly, elevated downside risk. On the technical side, the stock is clearly under pressure. It's trading well below its 50-day simple moving average, which is near $178, and its 200-day simple moving average around $192. These are key trend indicators you see. Breaking below them signals a strong downtrend. The Relative Strength Index, or RSI, is dipping below 40. Now, that's often a sign that a stock is oversold, meaning it could bounce. But crucially, the METD, another momentum indicator, remains negative, suggesting the selling pressure isn't quite done yet. Add to that an elevated volatility of around 40%, and you have a very choppy and challenging ride for investors right now.
So the technicals certainly reflect the recent struggles. What about the broader market sentiment and the analyst community? How are they viewing Lululemon now, given these developments?
Given these developments, yeah, the analyst community has definitely shifted. We've seen several downgrades, including Barclays moving from overweight down to equal weight on September 2nd. They cited concerns about consumer spending and potential margin pressure as key reasons. And, social media sentiment has also taken a negative turn since the earnings miss and those analyst downgrades, indicating a broader shift in perception, a more cautious outlook overall.
And what about the people closest to the company? Is there any insight to be gained from insider activity? Does that tell us anything about their outlook?
Yes, there's a notable insider transaction that certainly caught attention. CEO Calvin McDonald sold 30,000 shares on August 30th. Now look, insider selling can happen for personal reasons, of course, but when it coincides with a significant guidance cut and declining sentiment, well, it naturally contributes to a cautious view among investors.
Right, the timing isn't great.
Exactly. It's often interpreted as a signal of reduced confidence, even if that's not always the full story.
Now, let's shift gears and cast our gaze forward. What are the upcoming events and maybe longer-term trends that could either supercharge or perhaps derail Lululemon's trajectory in the coming months and years?
Okay, short term. The next major catalyst is the Q3 FY 2025 earnings report, expected around December 5th. This will undoubtedly drive near-term volatility. Investors will be scrutinizing operating margins, how they're managing that elevated inventory, and any updates to their guidance. Equally critical is their performance during the holiday season in November and December. This period is make or break for many retailers, right?
Absolutely.
And Lululemon's numbers here will heavily influence sentiment going into next year.
And for the long run, what are the bigger opportunities on the horizon for Lululemon, assuming they navigate these short-term challenges successfully?
Well, the long-term opportunities are still significant. Continued international expansion, particularly in high-growth markets like China and potentially new territories, is a major focus. They have substantial investments planned for 2026, 2027 there. Their ongoing innovation in technical apparel and, importantly, footwear also has the potential to drive market share gains in new categories. And, broader macro trends favoring premium, sustainable brands still align pretty well with Lululemon's high-end positioning as consumers increasingly prioritize quality and ethical production.
Okay, beyond these scheduled events and known strategies, are there any speculative catalysts or maybe wild cards we should be aware of?
Yeah.
Things that might not be on the official calendar but could still move the needle significantly.
Yeah, absolutely. The market always has its share of rumors and speculative factors. Chatter persists about potential strategic partnerships, maybe something to rejuvenate North American sales or broaden their product reach. There's also speculation regarding activist shareholder interest, especially given the recent underperformance, maybe someone pushing for changes in strategy.
Ugh, activists.
Right.
Always a possibility.
Right. Some market observers suggest Lululemon might announce an aggressive expansion into wellness services, trying to differentiate beyond just apparel. There are even whispers about potential C-suite turnover following that guidance cut, rumors of maybe a leadership shakeup before year-end. And then there are more technical things, like scheduled ETF rebalancing on October 1st and institutional portfolio shifts around November 15th. Those are expected to drive some short-term volatility as large funds adjust holdings.
With all these opportunities and potential catalysts, we also need to carefully consider the risks. What are the main concerns for Lululemon that investors should be keenly aware of right now?
Risk assessment is crucial here, definitely. Stock-specific risks include the execution risk tied to their aggressive expansion into new categories like footwear and new international markets. I mean, these ventures are expensive and they're not guaranteed successes. And that elevated inventory level we talked about, roughly $1.1 billion. That poses a significant risk of margin pressure if consumer demand slows further, forcing them into deeper discounts to clear stock.
And what about broader market or sector risks? What external factors could impact Lululemon, regardless of its own operational performance?
Well, remember, Lululemon is in the nice-to-have category consumer discretionary. When inflation bites, interest rates climb, people tighten their belts. A new pair of premium leggings might be one of the first things cut from the budget.
Sure.
These macroeconomic uncertainties directly impact their sales. Additionally, heightened price competition and increased discounts for peers in the athletic wear market could erode Lululemon's premium margins, especially if they're forced to compete more on price.
Okay, so after this comprehensive exploration, what's the overall investment thesis? Considering everything we've discussed, the strong fundamentals, the recent struggles, the future outlook, is it a good time to buy Lululemon now? What's the bottom line?
So based on our sources, the overall sentiment lands, I'd say, around a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10, okay.
Yeah. Lululemon still boasts impressive underlying strengths. That strong growth history, premium margins, robust financial health. However, it's undeniably facing significant short-term headwinds, including that Q2 earnings miss, the margin pressure, and a clear shift to negative market sentiment. These factors really constrain its upside in the immediate future, you see.
So while the valuation might have reset a bit after the recent drop, you're saying the risk remains elevated.
Precisely. The stock has certainly adjusted after the sharp drawdown, but the path forward still carries elevated risk. While international growth and product expansion offer compelling long-term opportunities, the execution uncertainties in these new areas are high. The recent near-term sentiment and, well, that insider selling we discussed strongly suggests caution for the present, especially for those looking for quick returns.
So is this more of a long-term play then, requiring patience from investors who believe in the underlying brand strength?
Yes, the sources strongly suggest an investment horizon, preferably for the long term. Short-term trading is considered risky given the recent volatility and those analyst downgrades. The medium to long-term prospects remain positive, contingent on successful execution of their expansion and category diversification, but always subject to broader macro risks and competitive pressures. It's really a story of patience and belief in the brand's ability to navigate these current storms.
That's a truly comprehensive look at Lululemon, from its strong fundamentals to its recent challenges and future prospects. It's clear that while the company has a solid foundation, there are significant short-term pressures that create a very nuanced picture for investors right now.
Absolutely. For you, the listener, the key factors to watch will be how Lululemon manages this continued U.S. sales weakness, how effectively they reduce those elevated inventory levels, and crucially, their performance during the upcoming holiday season. These elements will be critical in defining investor sentiment and the market's reaction in the coming months.
So while the long-term story might still be compelling, especially with international growth and product innovation, the path there could be quite volatile and demands a careful watch.
Which brings us to a crucial question for you to consider. How much weight do you place on strong, long-term fundamentals versus immediate market headwinds and short-term execution risks when making your own investment decisions?
A fantastic thought to ponder as you reflect on today's discussion. Thank you for joining us for this insightful exploration into Lululemon.